My name is Michael Butcher. I'm speaking on behalf of the Melbourne South Yarra Residents Group. This is a question of the Lord Mayor. What gifts, donations or promises have you received between October last year and the 19th of April this year? And included in those promises was one from Paul for $50,000. When was that received? What is Paul's name? What are his business interests? And is it your intention to refuse to receive donations and contributions from property developers?
Well, could I say, first of all, as you well know, we normally don't answer questions that are on the agenda, and this is on the agenda. I have received that, and I will declare it on the 30th of June. It was received in February this year. That is the only donation that I've had. As far as I know, he doesn't have business interests. He's a private retired individual, but I'll declare that in the appropriate time. As I've said to you before, I don't intend to repeat myself every single time. I consider it, my right to determine whether or not I will accept donations from, anybody, and I have not yet made that determination as far as property developers go, and that's exactly the same question and answer I gave you last time.
And the same problem exists, Lord Mayor, that you're not prepared to accept any example in terms of donations and contributions and transparency that's essential if the taint of undue influence and corruption is to be removed from these elections.
Look, I take exception to that language. And I'd be very careful about that sort of language. I think you will find that I have complied and will comply with all of the relevant state government legislation which governs this, which has now been looked at by 2 different state governments, 2 different ministers, 2 different inquiries, and they have still declined to make any changes to the regime with which I comply fully.
The question, Lord Mayor, is, however, is the law an appropriate law in terms of dealing with the question of donations? And anyone can see it's not, and the fact that governments have not had the gumption to deal with it does not remove the fact that the current rules which you insist on relying upon to protect yourself are completely inadequate if the ratepayers and electors are to understand what people are standing for when they stand for election.